Chosen one, your labor wasn't in vain. Payday is coming. Your labor was never unseen. The tears you've cried, the sacrifices you made in silence, the loyalty you gave when no one appreciated it, none of it was wasted. The heavens recorded every single act. Your long nights, the quiet prayers, the selfless love, the consistent effort when you had every reason to give up. Yes, that was real work. That was purpose-driven labor. And now the shift is underway. The payout is already in motion. Payday is no longer some far-off hope. It is a scheduled moment. This message is your confirmation. Your labor wasn't in vain. Your reward has already been released, and it is making its way into your life with power, precision, and divine momentum. Watch this video until the very end. Chosen one, because today isn't just another message. It's an activation. It's an energetic alignment. Write your warmest wishes in the comments and type 99 to energize this revelation with your intention. This is the moment when wishes start to come true in waves. By writing your deepest wish, you're telling the universe you are ready. You're participating in the flow, and you're letting the heavens know you're not just a receiver, you're an awakened creator. Let's build this energy together. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. And let's begin. There's something powerful about unseen labor, the kind that happens behind closed doors, the kind where your hands grow tired, but your heart keeps pushing because deep down you know you're building something sacred. Many people gave up after one storm. You went through 20. They stopped when it became uncomfortable. You kept walking barefoot across the fire, and yet you doubted if your effort would ever mean anything. But here's the truth. Chosen one. Destiny doesn't operate on human timelines. God's payroll system doesn't look like the world's. You were never working in vain. You were investing into a realm where dividends are exponential. You may not have seen the interest growing, but it was multiplying daily. Every seed you planted through your kindness, your giving, your patience has rooted itself into spiritual soil. And now the harvest is forming above the surface. Just because it wasn't visible yet didn't mean it was dead. Dormancy isn't denial. Delay isn't denial. You were never being denied. You were being prepared. And now the gates of release are opening. Your payday won't be like anyone else's. It's not a paycheck from man. It's a divine release, a compensation for pain, for process, for perseverance. You've earned something no human hand can give. Your reward is supernatural. You're about to receive confirmation after confirmation. The same people who dismissed you will now witness the manifestation. Not because you need validation, but because your journey is a divine testimony. Your win will inspire others to keep going. The signs have already started. You've been noticing changes in your mood, your frequency, your inner knowing. You've been more aware, more sensitive to shifts in the atmosphere. That's not random, that's spiritual alignment. That's payday vibrations. You're being tuned to receive what's always been yours. This isn't luck. This is law, spiritual law. And the law states, whatsoever a person sows, that shall they also reap. Your reaping season has arrived. Many people didn't understand what you were carrying. And that's okay. You weren't called to be understood. You were called to be chosen. Chosen for a purpose. Chosen for legacy. Chosen for overflow. So while they laughed, while they whispered, while they slept, you worked. And now you'll rise. You've graduated from survival into sacred reward. And let me be clear, this isn't about just money. Although financial blessings are included, this is about value. being honored, being seen, being rewarded in all forms, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, materially. You will receive clarity, opportunities, protection, peace, and provision. And yes, money too. Big money, sustaining legacy level abundance. You may not have noticed, but the old season has already expired. You've crossed the threshold. You can feel it in your spirit. Doors that were closed are beginning to creak open. Hearts that were hardened toward you are softening. Delays that used to frustrate you now make sense. That's what happens when you enter a season of divine payday. Heaven begins to rearrange things so that you no longer have to fight for what's already yours. And let me tell you something personal. The enemy tried to break you before this moment. He launched attack after attack to get you to curse your own harvest, to doubt your value, to abandon your labor. But you stayed faithful, you stayed kind, you held your tongue, you protected your soul, and God saw that. God honored that. And now heaven has authorized your increase. Your account in the spiritual realm is full, overflowing. Every act of goodness you poured out, every time you helped others when you needed help yourself, it's been multiplied. Your reward is custom-built, tailored to your pain, designed to match the weight of your faith. This isn't just compensation. This is celebration. You'll notice that people who didn't even support you are now drawn to your light. They don't even know why they're attracted to you, but it's because they're sensing the frequency of fulfillment. When your payday is near, your aura shifts. You glow, you move differently, you walk with ease because the weight you carried has been lifted. And yes, you'll be tempted to question it. Is this real? Yes, it's real. Yes, it's happening to you. You're not dreaming, you're not imagining things. The money will come. The opportunity will call. The right people will enter. Your efforts will be recognized because this is your divine moment. And heaven never misses a deposit. Your life is now becoming the proof. You're the living evidence that staying faithful pays off. You're the example for others who are just beginning their hard journey. You are not just blessed. You're becoming a blessing. Because payday doesn't stop with you. It flows through you. It touches your family, your future, your community. And this chosen one is the moment that will be remembered. This is the chapter of breakthrough. You're exiting hiddenness and entering recognition. You're shifting from praying for help to becoming someone else's answered prayer. You're moving from waiting to walking in fulfillment. You won't have to chase anything in this season. What's yours will find you. You don't need to convince, to beg, or to perform. Your reward is already marked with your name. Delays can't steal it. Jealousy can't block it. Insecurity can't bury it. This blessing is protected and it's on its way faster than you think. This isn't hype. This isn't fluff. This is your soul's confirmation. Your payday is personal and it's coming with precision. You'll wake up one day and everything will look the same but feel completely different because something in the spirit realm will have shifted. You will know, you will feel it, and it will feel like peace. Let them say what they want. Let them doubt if they need to. But you stay ready, stay prepared, keep your heart open, your energy high, and your hands extended. Because when the overflow comes, it won't be a trickle. It will be a flood. And every single effort, every ounce of labor, every moment of faith, it will all make sense. You see, chosen one, you were never laboring in ordinary soil. You were sowing into divine ground, soil that multiplies what's planted with purpose. The time you thought was wasted was actually sacred. The detours were training. The delays were refinements. Every no was not a rejection, but a redirection. You didn't miss your moment. You've been walking straight toward it, step by quiet step. That's why your payday feels so undeniable now. because your inner compass knew the treasure was real. You were guided by something higher than logic. You were led by purpose. There were seasons where all you had was obedience. Not motivation, not applause, just obedience. And that obedience, it became your currency. When you showed up tired, when you supported others while you were secretly drowning, when you refused to let bitterness harden you, that was your investment. And now your returns are arriving, not just in one area, but in waves, in waves, in waves. This is the power of divine compensation. It doesn't just pay, it multiplies. And here's the miracle. Payday doesn't just balance the scales, it tips them in your favor. You gave 10%, you're receiving 100-fold. You stood in faith for months, even years, and now acceleration will happen in days. What took others 10 years to build, you will receive in divine speed. This isn't a gimmick. This is how heaven works with the chosen. When the timing aligns, everything compounds. Opportunities will show up that seem random, but they're not. They are directly connected to your effort, your persistence, your spiritual labor. Somewhere deep inside, you knew it was all worth it. Even when everything outside of you screamed, "Give up," you kept going. And now, the same voice that urged you to quit is being silenced, replaced with a new voice that says, "Get ready." It's here. Because once payday starts, the only thing left for you to do is receive. You already labored. Now you shift into allowing. Now you align with what's coming. Now you embrace it without guilt, without shrinking, without hesitation. There is a divine spotlight coming over your life, not to show off, but to highlight God's promise, to showcase what happens when someone keeps building in silence, when someone remains kind in cruelty, when someone stays consistent even when forgotten. Your light cannot be hidden any longer. You're being elevated, but it's not elevation for ego. It's elevation for purpose. You will reach those you were meant to reach. You will impact the lives you were assigned to touch, and the labor you once questioned will reveal its full meaning. Let them wonder how you're suddenly receiving so much. Let them whisper about the doors that open for you. You don't owe an explanation. You owe your destiny, your participation. Don't dim. Don't hesitate. Don't explain. Just move. Just rise. Because when payday begins, there's no more room for the small version of you. The elevated version has been unlocked. The version that trusts, the version that receives, the version that is no longer waiting, but walking. You're going to notice sudden clarity about people, places, decisions. That's because the energy of reward reveals truth. And some of what you were loyal to will no longer fit. Don't mourn it, honor it, and move forward. Because what's coming doesn't require who you used to be. It's built for who you've become. And you've become stronger, wiser, deeper. You've become the version of yourself who is ready to be rewarded. There is a special kind of overflow reserved for those who labored when no one was watching. You weren't performing, you were preparing. You weren't pleasing others. You were being obedient to something higher. That obedience is why payday is inevitable. You may not see it all yet, but it's happening. In the background, deals are aligning. In the spirit, deposits are being made. Your name is coming up in rooms you've never walked into. Favor is traveling faster than logic. And don't be surprised when doors open without you knocking. That's the mark of divine payroll. When heaven releases what is due, it chases you down. You're not going to hustle for crumbs anymore. You're going to be seated at the table. And not just any table, the table you were prepared for, the one you cried over, the one you almost quit on, the one God whispered about while you were alone, that table. Now you understand why the journey was so intense. It wasn't punishment, it was positioning. It was God molding your capacity, stretching your faith, teaching you discernment. Because what you're about to receive is not small. You had to be strengthened to carry it. Your spiritual muscles were built in the fire, and now you'll lift blessings you once thought were out of reach. People will try to explain your breakthrough logically, but it won't make sense to them. That's how you'll know it was God. Because your reward will defy your past, ignore your credentials, and rewrite your narrative. This isn't just a blessing, it's a new identity, a new reality. You will look back at this message and say, that was the moment it all changed. That was the moment it all began to arrive. The wealth that is coming to you is connected to your work. Yes, but more than that, it's connected to your faithfulness. It's not about working harder, it's about staying aligned. And you did that through the storms, through the doubt, through the silence. You stayed. And now the reward stays with you. You're going to feel a divine ease. Not because the work stops, but because the burden lifts. The yoke is being broken. The heaviness is being replaced with holy momentum. Things will start flowing. You won't force anymore. You'll flow. You won't beg. You'll be invited. You won't chase. You'll attract, because payday is here. And when heaven pays, it pays well. There will be moments soon where you'll need to pause and take it in. You'll say, is this really my life? And the answer will be yes, because the seeds you planted in faith were never ignored. Every act of courage, every small step of consistency, every tear of surrender, it mattered. It all counted. And heaven never forgets. So prepare, clear space, make room. Because payday doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It arrives when the soul is ready. And you, chosen one, are ready. You may not have realized it, but something shifted the moment you decided not to quit. The moment you wiped your tears and kept going, something eternal was activated. Not only did you win that battle, but you signaled to heaven that you were ready for your due season. That moment, yes, that very moment when you rose again, despite the weight of everything trying to break you, became the marker for your upcoming payday. It was no longer a matter of if, it became a matter of when. And the when is now. Chosen one, you've entered a realm where the rules are different. This isn't about struggle anymore. This is about receiving. There's a grace resting on you now. A divine stamp of approval that is rearranging your entire reality. The people who overlooked your brilliance, the systems that didn't honor your value, the seasons that drained you of energy, none of it will define you anymore. You are no longer under the weight of unrecognized labor. You are now under the flow of multiplied harvest. And the best part, you're not just being paid back, you're being honored. You're being acknowledged by the universe, by heaven, by the divine forces that witnessed every step of your silent sacrifice. You thought you were just surviving, but all along you were stacking heavenly currency. Every time you held back your anger and chose peace. Every time you gave when you had barely enough. Every time you kept your mouth shut when you could have clapped back. Those were deposits. And now the spiritual balance is too full to stay hidden. You've grown more than you know. Your old self would not even recognize you. The you that once doubted your worth. The you that used to chase validation. That version of you no longer fits, because now your life is becoming the reflection of your divine rank. You're not just showing up anymore. You're standing tall. You're claiming space. And guess what? Space is making way for you. Because when payday begins, even the atmosphere has to adjust. People will start treating you differently without understanding why. They'll sense something in you, a presence, a depth, a divine weight. And that's because payday doesn't just change your bank account. It shifts your aura. You move different. You speak with clarity. You carry an energy that communicates, I've been through it. I've done the work. I know my value now. And let me tell you, that kind of presence draws the exact blessings you were built for. Everything is aligning, even the delays. You'll see why some doors were blocked. You'll understand why certain opportunities didn't go through. It wasn't sabotage. It was divine strategy. Because if you had walked into those rooms too early, you would have settled for less. Now, you're walking in as the most developed, deserving version of yourself. The version that doesn't need to beg. The version that knows the table was always going to appear when the time was right. And now, the time is undeniably right. Expect strange favor, unexplainable opportunities, connections that feel like fate. Things will start finding you. People will reach out saying, I don't know why, but I feel led to help you. Emails will arrive. Money will come in unexpectedly. What used to be blocked will now flow like water. Because when payday is activated, the universe becomes your assistant. Your energy begins to attract what once felt impossible. And here's something powerful to remember. You didn't become worthy when the reward showed up. You were always worthy. The reward just had to catch up with your vibration. And now that your vibration is in sync with your destiny, the speed of delivery is increasing. You'll look back and realize that what took years to build will now expand in weeks. Because you're no longer in construction, you're in expansion. You're no longer preparing, you're receiving. There is no shame in what you went through, no guilt in how long it took. All of it is part of your glory. Every setback is now a setup. Every tear you cried is now watering your new blessings. Every time you felt forgotten, you were actually being reserved, hidden for the right moment, protected from the wrong exposure, and now you're being brought forward publicly, boldly, undeniably. Let the record show that you were not made by shortcuts. You were not rushed. You were refined. You were shaped by obedience, molded by purpose, forged in fire. That's why your payday is going to hit different. It's not a random check. It's not a lucky break. It's the manifestation of destiny meeting diligence, of purpose rewarding perseverance, of God saying, now let them see what I saw all along. This energy is sacred. Protect it. Don't explain it to people who still see you through an old lens. You're not there anymore. You're not that anymore. You've evolved, and this evolution comes with evidence. Tangible, visible, undeniable evidence. Your payday will not be hidden. It will be loud, glorious, weighty. And guess what? You deserve every bit of it. Not because you were perfect, but because you were faithful. Not because you had it all figured out, but because you showed up anyway. You didn't fold. You didn't run. You faced the storm and stood your ground. That strength wasn't for nothing. That courage wasn't for show. It was a setup. And now you're about to collect every ounce of favor you stored up through your obedience. There are angels assigned to your payday, and they don't move slowly. They move on time. In fact, they're already releasing the resources. You'll soon find yourself in rooms you once dreamed about. Not as a visitor, but as a voice, as a solution, as someone who belongs. Because when payday comes, it doesn't ask permission. It kicks the door down and says, we're here. Make room. Don't be surprised if your energy starts attracting people who are also aligned. The takers will fall off. The doubters will distance themselves, the copycats will go quiet. Why? Because your payday exposes motives. When your light shines this bright, only real ones can stand in it. So don't mourn those who can't walk with you into this next season. You're not being cruel. You're being called. And to the version of you who once thought they'd never see the fruit, look around. It's blooming. The harvest is undeniable. The favor is flooding. You are the result of divine investment, and you're about to become someone else's miracle. Your story will light the path for others. Your reward will inspire them to keep going, because payday isn't just about you. It's about legacy, about creating a wave so strong generations after you will still feel it. Chosen one, you are stepping into that moment, the moment when everything changes, the moment where the spiritual realm says, now it's time. Not because you earned it the way the world defines earning, but because you are faithful in what really matters. And faithfulness never goes unpaid. You're not waiting anymore, chosen one. You're transitioning. You're no longer laboring in the shadows hoping for proof. Now the proof is chasing you. You are in the phase where the fruit begins to match the seed. You sowed in private. You sacrificed when no one saw you. You remained loyal to the mission when no one clapped. And now the echo of your labor is resounding through the corridors of destiny. Payday isn't just a moment. It's a movement, a sequence of divine approvals that collide with your readiness. And you are ready. What's about to unfold in your life isn't a coincidence. It's a completion. It's the full circle of everything you've endured. When people say, wow, how did this happen so fast? They won't know the years you went unseen. They won't know the cost behind your calm. They won't know the spiritual pressure you survived to get here. But heaven knows. The divine record shows your every effort. The record shows how you loved, how you gave, how you stayed, how you healed, how you held back anger, how you chose peace, how you let go. And for that, payday has been authorized. There's a divine vault that has been waiting for you to become ready. Not just emotionally, but energetically, spiritually, mentally, and even physically. And now you've crossed into alignment. The lock has turned, the floodgates are opening, and the wealth that is due to you, yes, the exact wealth that matches the frequency of your faith, is now making its entrance. You'll see it in many forms: money, favor, partnerships, acceleration, recognition, visibility, protection, invitations. All of it is part of the payout. Don't doubt it when it comes. Don't shrink when it shows up. Don't push it away with, am I worthy? You are worthy. That question was answered when you chose to walk in purpose without applause. That was your yes. That was your proof. You did the work before the reward. That's what makes you rare. That's what makes this harvest so heavy. It's not just for you, it's for everyone connected to you. People are about to benefit from your obedience. The blessing will overflow into your relationships, into your family, into your future, into the strangers who cross your path. You are the evidence that staying consistent in silence creates miracles in public. You are the walking receipt of spiritual deposits turned into divine riches. Let that settle deep in your bones. You didn't labor in vain. Every ounce of it counted. Every act was multiplied. Even when you weren't perfect, you were planted. Even when you were tired, you were chosen. Even when you were overlooked, you were protected. And now that protection is transforming into promotion. You'll no longer need to defend your name. Your life will do the speaking. The way doors open, the way favor flows, the way peace wraps around you like armor, that's your reward in motion. The next phase of your life will not be marked by striving. It will be marked by ease. That doesn't mean there won't be effort, but the struggle part of your effort is being lifted. Divine ease is entering the equation. Divine alignment is showing up to assist. When you speak, the right people will hear. When you move, the right opportunities will respond. When you show up, you'll be noticed. Not because you're shouting, but because your frequency is finally speaking louder than your fears. You were never meant to be invisible forever. You were hidden for your own protection. But now, your season of hiding is over. And guess what? You didn't just survive the hidden season. You mastered it. You became someone new in the silence. Stronger, wiser, sharper. Now, you're ready for visibility. Not the visibility of ego, but the visibility of purpose. People are going to find you, not because you beg to be found, but because light cannot be ignored forever. This payday is personal, but it's also prophetic. You've been selected to prove that doing good doesn't go unrewarded, that choosing integrity isn't foolish, that walking with love and patience, even when it's hard, builds eternal reward, that being loyal to your assignment, even when it looks like it's not working, is the highest form of faith. And you, chosen one, have shown faith. Not the loud kind, but the consistent kind. The kind that doesn't need validation to keep going. And now, your reward is arriving at the speed of divine release. Some of the opportunities coming your way will feel surreal. And that's okay. You're not being tricked. You're being treated. You're not being teased. You're being trusted. You've been assigned to carry wealth, not just for spending, but for strategy. You'll use it wisely. You'll bless others. You'll expand vision. You'll multiply peace. Because you've been trained in lack, you know what abundance truly means. And that makes you a responsible receiver. There will be new ideas birthed in this season. Business downloads, sudden connections, inspired action. Follow those nudges. Those are part of the payday package. Not everything will be handed to you, but you'll feel the wind behind your moves. You'll sense the confirmation in your steps. That's how you'll know. This is that season, the one you dreamed of, the one you wrote about, the one you prayed through tears for. It's real. You're living it now. Release the old stories, the ones that say you're unlucky, that you're always forgotten, that blessings skip over you. No more of that. That version of you no longer exists. You are not the overlooked one. You are not the one who almost made it. You are the fulfilled one, the chosen one, the one who stayed faithful when others gave up, the one who paid a price and is now collecting what's been accumulating for years. You're going to wake up one morning and realize everything is different. Not because the world changed overnight, but because your timeline finally caught up to your truth. You've always been destined. You've always been marked for more. And now the universe is simply delivering the balance of what's owed. It's payday, and it's on time. You're not approaching the promise anymore. You've crossed the line. You're no longer near the harvest. You're inside it. What's happening now is what you've been preparing for all along. And though it may feel surreal, it's not unfamiliar. Deep in your spirit, you knew this was coming. You may not have known when, but you always knew why. And that why has carried you through every storm. That purpose has now pulled your payday into this very timeline. This isn't just a reward season, it's a restoration season. You're being restored in every area where you once felt robbed.